go. All right.
All right.
I'll plug this in. Whoa. Yaka.
So we could kind of look at, that could be like a third person up there.
Exactly.
So, and then we'll look at each other, third person.
Exactly. Double check this. Cool. All right, cool. We're rolling here. Oh,
All right.
let me sink in the sound. Not bad, dude. That wasn't bad.
That was good.
Single clap. All right, you ready, sir?
Yeah.
All right. Get in sync, baby. Let's go. Get your shit together, homie. All right. You ready? Sorry, man. I do it all the time, bro. All right, you ready?
All right.
Hey, how you guys doing today? I am with my good friend, Alex Casillas.
Hey, guys.
Also known as Dr. K, also known as Mr. New Jersey.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Man.
Mr. Garden State,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And
A lot of aliases, this guy. I don't know if I trust him fully. Just kidding.
from Mr. South Carolina.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, anyway, we're here at Alex's place here, place of work, and that's why it looks so professional in here. Alex, you know, I had a question I want to discuss with you.
Okay, sure.
And it really has to do with my clients that I train on a daily basis.
Right.
And I get a lot of questions specifically about vitamins, not just supplements, but vitamins in particular. And, you know, we don't really, at the end of the day, we don't always know what we're taking. It's hard to read your body sometimes. But
Right.
what would you say, I mean, is it even worth messing around with vitamins?
Well, I think taking vitamins is really important because even if you look at the recommended daily allowance, it is in a research study recently, just within the last 5 years, it was shown that 80% of our population is malnourished that don't even reach the daily allowance that is recommended. So you're not going to get the nutrients that you need to stay healthy and ward off problems and inflammatory processes that are going on in the body.
Yeah.
So it is important. You have to supplement. Not to mention too, if you're malnourished, even slightest, you have an 80% chance of obesity because of the nutrient density in the body.
Sure. So your body's craving these specific nutrients, right?
Yes.
And we're feeding it probably a lot of processed foods, which
Exactly.
is nutritionally void.
Yeah.
So then your body has those needs it has to fulfill, right? So you get hungry and you have certain cravings, you overeat.
Eating empty calories. Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
So, you know, it's interesting that the average American eats about 2,000 calories a day.
Okay.
And just to meet the recommended daily allowance in our American diet, you would have to eat 27,000 calories a day to meet that requirement with the food that we have available.
Wow.
That's just crazy. I could imagine that would look like a stack of pizza to the ceiling.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be able to do that. That's where supplementation is really important.
Sure, man. Sure. So you're saying to me that taking vitamins isn't just a good idea; it's a necessity.
It is a necessity. If we're going to be healthy and get through our daily modern lives, a supplement really makes life easier.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about so I have a lot of customers, they eat a fair amount of organic food. I try to buy mostly organic myself.
Yeah.
So let's say someone's eating all organic food, would you still recommend a vitamin supplement?
Well, organic's definitely better because they're going to be processed in a better method without chemicals or shortcuts which is really important.
Without destroying the nutrition in the food already.
Yes, there's going to be more care because those are typically grown in smaller farms or locally. So you're going to have more nutrient dense foods.
Yeah.
And, you know, by comparison too, one research study I read some time back that the nutrient value of the peach from the 1950s is equal to 25 peaches today.
Wow.
That's how overgrown and how deficient the soil is at this point.
Wow. So I'm guessing it's probably a combination of things, right? It's deficiency of the soil, Also, GMO stuff, right? GMO is going to be another problem where
Right.
we're trying to manipulate, getting specific foods looking nice, but
Right.
what's the nutritional content of that stuff, right?
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
so there are a lot of seems like there's a lot of layers to how our food's being stripped of its nutrients.
Right, right. And to make things more complicated is, how do you know you're taking a good vitamin?
That's the key. And that was actually my next question. So once you start on a supplement regime, what indications are there that you are taking something that's legit?
So, in my practice for over 20 years, I've always had a live food, whole food, live source philosophy about supplements or really anything you eat. So we try to avoid anything that has a label on it.
Yeah.
But for example, this time of year where the weather's cold, people are asking me about vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody knows with ascorbic acid, if you look at the labels of vitamin C, the first ingredient that typically will pop up is ascorbic acid.
Mm-hmm.
And, you really need all the fractions of the vitamin for it to be whole.
I got you.
So if we look at the vitamin C in a whole food source, you have to have the ascorbic acid, but you also have another fraction called rutin, and then you have the bioflavins,
Okay.
and there's also a J and K factor. So you have these fractions that make vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Synthetic vitamins are made, cheaply, and all they contain is the ascorbic acid without the other fractions.
Gotcha.
And how they make that is they take ascorbic acid and mix it with hydrochloric acid,
Mm-hmm.
and that produces synthetic vitamin C.
Wow.
That could have actually devastating health repercussions because it's so chemically
Altered, right?
yes,
Yeah.
it's all
It's out of balance, right?
It is. It's out of balance.
So as far as the supplements go, obviously we want to stay away from the cheaper vitamins. I heard back, this is a long time ago, back in the 80s and the 90s, but they were talking about how they compress the pills too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shit.
Oh well, that's cool, man. That's cool. We'll do it again.
Okay. Damn. So now all the power's off.
I thought it was going pretty nicely though.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. Let's listen to a
We're in
little
the
bit.
flow.
We'll listen to a little bit of see if it sounds any good. 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes.
Okay.
So what do you
I
reckon?
gotta shave it down. That way I could go back to you.
Well,
Or you know what? Just
another
finish
video.
mine, then I'll go to yours.
Yeah. Well, we
Okay.
can just do a separate video,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And we can let it flow, and he can edit it.
Yeah.
See
Okay.
what this.
Might have to unplug it. Oh, you did.
Oh, that's recording. Fucking dumbass! I pressed the wrong fucking one. You retard. Good lord. Sorry.
Sounds like
It's like a fucking
Sasquatch.
bear. Is that okay what I'm saying right there?
It sounds perfect.
Okay, cool.
I was just wondering about my voice on it.
Oh, shit, sorry.
No, I can hardly hear it. No, you can hear it pretty good.
Really?
Oh, okay, that's clear.
It is in a research study recently, just within the last 5 years, it was shown that 80% of our
Yeah, your information was excellent. Fucking Sasquatch. All right. Let's see
I
what
wonder,
happens. I
you wanna
guess.
look at the camera, see if we can still do it
Yeah.
without the overhead?
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
Does
it look dark?
It doesn't look that bad actually. Where is the?
We had a light.
Yeah, no kidding, man. That was kind of trippy. What am I doing here? It's fucking. I want to see if it.